We're doing a Premier Predictor, okay? I've not actually done an official video on just my Premier League predictions. I kind of wanted to wait until like mid-July to do this video, and then of course I'll do my official predictor video at the end. And you know what, for some reason I found out in my history is that I have better predictions for my early Premier League prediction than I do in my actual final one. So I kind of want to do this early and final one just to see if that is true again. Because for some reason, I just do a lot better on this predictor than I do in my actual one. So let's begin. I must say, to start off, if I do get your team to be in bottom 3, or to not do that well, or to not get top 4, I'm sorry, I cannot fucking please everyone. Sorry, okay? So cheers, chat. I know that you're gonna have a go at me here. I know you will. So you can have a go at me all you want. Let's get stuck in. Yo, do you play FIFA 22? Yeah. Is your team bang average? You absolute pathetic piece of... You're saying that to the viewers? No, obviously. Ah, okay. I mean you. Do you face teams like this? You can't keep getting away with it! Do you know there's a way to get coins? Why are you shouting at me? Then go to userbuy.com for the cheapest and most reliable place to buy your coins on FIFA 22. Link is down below in the description. And also use code Vizeh at checkout to get a discount. So here we go. We're on Team Maker just because, like... I mean, it's just a simple predictor video. And I'm on stream as well. I'm on stream, so I'm sure that my chat would also help out. And, well, I say help out, have a go at me for me saying things that they just won't agree with. So, yeah, each team is down here, ready to go. So, Bournemouth, Fulham, and Forest is in. I was debating wearing a Burnley kit for this video. Then I realised that's a bad idea, and I will get bullied in the comments. So, I opted not to do that one, by the way. So, let's go. So, they got... all of the categories here. You guys can read English, I hope. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're from, you know, another country that doesn't understand English. And, sorry. But you can see numbers, so at least numbers can maybe help. So let's go. Let's start off with my confident but technically controversial opinion, because I don't think some people may still rate them still. But for me, I think that Tottenham will easily get third place. Maybe second. I think I said this in a video of mine. I think it was like the 10 things that will happen in this season. And I think I said this in that video. For me, I think Tottenham will comfortably get top 4. I don't think some people really will think that, because they think Man United may still get top 4. There's Chelsea fights for that, even also fighting in that position. And I don't think that Spurs will scrape in it. This is my shout. My opinion is I think that they will be a sure thing. Almost like what Chelsea was in last season. I think that Spurs with Antonio Conte, I have faith in Conte. I've said this in many videos, and I will not go too much more into it because you guys already know my thoughts if you're a regular here. But yeah, Conte, he knows what he needs, he knows what he wants. He's being backed in the market. He's got Richarlison, he's got Perisic, he's got Lenglet, he's got there's probably one or two other players I can't even think of right now. I mean, there's probably some others I can't name, but like there's Basuma as well, and there's probably another one or two I'm not thinking of. But like the guy Conte, he's been there, he's done that, he's a serial winner, and I think that even though winning the league is a massive task, and I don't think he's really expected to, you know, win the league, at least try and get some stuff away in a cup, in an FA Cup, or in the FA Cup or Carabao Cup, and then hopefully secure top 4. Yeah, Jed Spence, he's also coming in too. So Conte, I back him, and this is my kind of out there opinion, I think, because some people may still be a Man. Basically, if you're a Man U fan, you don't agree with me, essentially. Okay. I think Leicester will be quite poor this year. I think Leicester may be like 12th. I'm putting Leicester 12th. I think this could be a year that Leicester, I think they may be seen as falling behind the curve. They still got some good players, but I think there's still some question marks there. And the fact they've still put in no one in the window. Vardy is... I mean, we all saw how poor they were when Vardy wasn't even there. And they were slacking for a large chunk of the year. Vardy is still injury prone, even though he's a very good player. He's like 36 now, I believe. They need that striker there. And I just kind of feel like, if my other unpopular opinion, maybe I think that Leicester may have a bit of a poor year this year. I don't think they'll be in any, like, you know, relegation scrap. And to be fair, they may actually start off quite well, for all we know. But then I think when games starts getting packed up and heating up, I think at that stage, maybe that's when an injury or two may happen and they may start kind of, you know, near the end of the year, start falling down the table. I would be surprised if Brendan Rodgers is still manager That's my kind of shout. I think Brendan Rodgers may actually no longer be manager of Leicester by the end of next year. I expect him to potentially leave or get sacked. Next up, I'm going to go with Leeds. And I think they'll be 15th. I think they'll be 15th. People may think they'll go down because they've lost Phillips and they've lost Rafinha, which are two massive players, mainly Rafinha, because really he was the main source of really anything creatively for them. So that is a massive hole. But with the money they've brought in, they've got like 100 million plus, right? Now, I know that spending a lot of money isn't exactly a guarantee for success, but I kind of like the players they're bringing in. I like the kind of RB Leipzig style that they're basically bringing in all these very similar players that knows the system quite well, and they needed that because with Jesse Marsch, they needed that kind of system that he wants to play in, and they are now bringing the players that is necessary to do that. Tyler Adams and there's a few less from Bayern Munich, I believe. So it's looking like I think they could be in a bit of a scrap at some stage because, of course, they still need to gel together. But I think, by the end of the year, I think they'll still survive and they'll be fine. I think that the top 6 will be the top 6. I think. I can't see like a West Ham or a Newcastle or a team like that potentially breaking into that top 6. I don't think so. It's really hard to imagine a world where Arsenal goes ahead to be in top 4. It'd be really tough. I think Arsenal, comfortably, I can say, would be 6th. I don't know. I like the young team that they got. They're doing things in the right way, in my opinion, making a likable team, a team that the fans can get behind even when they do lose, because like they are still young and they're growing with a team. And some fans may not like that because they feel like, it's Arsenal. They should be most definitely, be challenging for this and that. And I get that. But I do kind of feel like it's really hard to imagine them in a world where they are not in 5th or 6th. Maybe 7th, I guess. But my guess is going to be 6th. So that's them done. I like Palace. I really like Palace. I like what they're doing over there. Decore's been brought in from France, and I think they may still 1 or 2 more pieces of business. I like them. I think they'll be like 9th. I back them to be 9th or maybe 8th. I really like the job that Patrick Vieira's doing there. An exciting team, a young team as well. Defensively was one of the best teams in the second half of the year. And I really like what Palace are doing. I think they're building a strong team there. Eze, Olise, Zaha, a good defense of Mitchell and Gay as well. And it's very positive all around. Next up, going down. I'm sorry. It's Bournemouth. I'm sorry. I don't know as of right now where exactly the goals are coming from. I need to double check. I need to double check their team. But as far as I'm aware, it's Dominic Solanke and Kiefer Moore. And there's still time for them to bring players in. That's why it's called an early prediction. But even if they do bring in one decent striker, right? I still think the rest of the team is kind of lacking a bit. And then also there's the Scott Parker factor that, he's already been in Premier League and failed then as well with a lot of money spent as well at Fulham. And he's going to try and go with Bournemouth spending much less money. So if he spent money and still went down, and a lot of the team was loans, I guess, I just kind of feel like I can't really... It'd be really hard, I think, for Bournemouth. Arrivals? Are you serious? Wait, the arrivals is Joe Rothwell, Ryan Fredericks, which, okay, he may be alright, and that's it. Oh no, they spent no money. They've got a massive, massive fight. They've still spent nothing. I know there's still time to go, but even if they do bring in 3 or 4 players, I still think they may not have enough still. Brentford. People think that second season syndrome will happen again. People thought that was going to happen with Leeds last year. Fortunately for them, they stayed up. Cheers, lads. Happened with Sheffield United. And no one thought they would go down. They had a fantastic first year, similar to Brentford, but playing a completely different way. Would Brentford maybe this time get found out? And in my opinion, I think they'll be in a battle, but I think they'll stay up. One reason only. If they keep Ivan Toney, they've got a goal scorer. They've got a goal scorer. And that is vital. He's a proven Premier League goal scorer. And in my opinion, I think that could be enough to get goals in the matters. I still think there'll be a fight. I think there'll be a scrap. And I'd be maybe quite fearful for them. They have got some nice, cute, technical players. And I think they've got some grit in there as well. Defensive may not be the best, but I think they're fine. Home record's pretty decent, which is important. And I think that they've got a striker, which I feel like will get them goals. Next up, I guess in low table, that would be the kind of like, in that, yeah, Everton. I think that Everton, they'll be fine. Richarlison will be a miss, and I think this year would just be purely more of a transitional year. Attacking wise, I still think they're kind of lacking. They may be bringing in Cornet. I saw the link to Cornet today. Even if they do bring in Cornet, I still think they need more. Calvert-Lewin, can he be back in his old form? It could be. That'd be a big help. But right now it's like Gordon with Calvert-Lewin with right now Demarai Gray. If they get Cornet, then Cornet. I kind of feel like for Everton, it should just be more of just trying to just be stable. Maybe try to do something in the cups. But I think they'd be fine. 13th. I think that's fair. After the nonsense of last year, I think they'll be okay. But I don't think they're going to do anything insane. They'll just be like purely just okay. Next up, I'm going to go for Aston Villa in the mid-table packet of like 10th. I like the fact they've brought some good players in. Carlos and Kamara, or some good names. Some exciting good players. Question is really, number one, defensively, and number two, Steven Gerrard. Is Steven Gerrard ready to go now? And I still think he may still need some time. I think he'll still make some mistakes. And I still think there'll be some times of the season where they may go in some poor form. Just like how they did last year. I mean, they were one of the worst sides in the league, form-wise, right? So they can have them moments where they are kind of just not really clicking. And I think Gerrard still has a lot to learn. He's got a good team, some great young players, so they'll be building together. And, yeah, I think, like, 10th, 9th... I'm trying to figure out where, sadly. I would say 10th, I believe. Let's just do Manchester United. I think with Manchester United, with Man United, I kind of feel like there could be a bit of a shaky period at the start of the year. I feel like it may get to a stage where like it could still get worse before it gets better, if that makes sense. Like I feel like they may start off poorly, and then after the first 2 months, will start kind of clicking a little bit. And because of that poor start, they may end up trying to claw back to the rest of the pack. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of feel like with Ten Hag, would that be okay for Manchester United fans to have a kind of transitional year, kind of similar to what like Arteta had last year, and maybe be surprising and maybe actually be in a fight for top four? I don't know. I mean, it's Man United, so of course you are always going to be in top four. You always expect to be in top four. I just kind of feel like maybe a transitional year could be expected and could be also accepted. Another team in the relegation zone, Fulham for me is like the Norwich, bro. It's like the Norwich of last year. That I think surely this time they're going to learn from their mistakes. Surely they're going to learn from their mistakes. Because last year I was really trying my best, bro, to have Norwich stay up. In all my predictive videos, I was like, come on, man, I'm going to get Norwich. I'll put them 17th. All the fans are going to love me. But in the end, I just couldn't. I was just like, if in doubt, put Fulham to go down. If in doubt, put Norwich to go down. Because I don't know. They've made some better signings, Of course, they lost Carvalho. They brought in, still some question marks on the likes of Pereira as well coming in. He could be alright. I want to back Fulham. I really do. I want to back Fulham so hard, but do I think Marco Silva is good enough of a manager? His track record says no. It says no from what I've seen before. I'm sorry. I want to back Fulham because I feel like maybe they'll learn from their mistakes, and it looks like they're doing a different thing this time. They're not going for loan players like what they did last time, which failed. But I still feel like there's still so many questions there still. Sorry, I'm so sorry. West Ham, I think, will be 8th. I think 8th is fair. I think 8th is fair for West Ham. They got a good team, looking like they keep Declan Rice. And they did well in Europe last year, and trying to balance that did very well, actually. And I think 8th will be okay for them. I think there may be an element where they may kind of drop off a bit and then come back. Maybe Bowen may not have as good of a season as he did last year. I'd be surprised if he keeps that level of form. But I think 8th will be okay for West Ham. Wolves, I've said before that I feel like they will be in a fight to potentially go down. With the signing of Nathan Collins, looking like Ruben Neves may still be staying there for time being. If they can keep the likes of Ruben Neves, I think it'll be around this kind of area. Around a kind of like 13th, 12th, 14th, around that kind of region. Last year they were 10th, they had some good times of the season. I still think scoring goals could be a problem. They got Pedro Neto, who's good. Jimenez, can he get back to his form after his injury? I have to find out. But I think they'll be like, and Nathan Collins is a good signing. I really like him a lot, and I think that he'll do a lot better in that system where he's in a free back. I think it'd be a lot better there. So, yeah, I think Wolves is fine in like 13th. I don't know where I put Everton, but I'll say Everton 14th, Wolves 13th, Leicester 12th. Okay, so really we got left like Brighton, Forest, Southampton. So if you can not already guess, it's really between Forest and Southampton in terms of who I think will indeed go down. And there's a lot of question marks on Southampton. I think a lot of Saints fans are also kind of expecting a bit of a dogfight because of how they ended last year so poorly, like really bad. And as of right now, they've not really got a goal scored. The defense is also shaking, and the midfield is probably the best part of the team, and even that on the day could be kind of just okay. Romeo and Ward-Prowse. So, and then there's just the Forest factor where like we don't know exactly how good they could be because Cooper, even though I think he's a good manager, is he good enough to bring Forest to stay up with the players that they have, which the players that they went up with are no longer there. 4 of them are no longer there. I said in my prediction video like 2 weeks ago with Forest that I think they go down. They have signed some decent players or look like they have potential to do well. So they got like Williams. They've got that Awonini for Union Berlin. They've also got Niakate as well, centre back lad. And I think there's Hennessy, but that's kind of like who else is there? They brought in like a centre mid player. Dean Henderson, capable goalkeeper. I think is also capable. You know what? I know that I said in my prediction video like a week ago about Forest thinking that I think they'll go down. But I kind of don't want to be that guy that just thinks that all 3 teams will go down. Usually, as a rule of thumb, of the 3 that goes up, 1 will stay up, 2 will go down. So just to make it not boring, I put Southampton to go down and Forest to stay up. I'll do it. I'm gonna back it. Okay, why not? I don't want to be boring. Why not? Okay, why not? I kind of feel like Hassan Hutel. I feel like he's kind of. I'd be surprised if Hassan Hutel stays at Southampton. I'll be very surprised if Hassan Hutel is still manager by the end of the year. I think that kind of era as well that he has is kind of been something similar to what Rodgers has at Leicester in terms of like they've been there for a while now. Are they really making progress at this stage? Are they maybe starting to go backwards? Maybe a few concerns there. And if they start the year quite poorly, then maybe they can, end up being in a situation where they may be sacked, I feel like. So Hassan Hutel, I'd be surprised if he's still there. So as of right now, with the players that I've seen go to Southampton, which I'm pretty sure is not really many at all. I mean, there's Lavia from City, who can be good, but is he ready for the Premier League now? There's a question mark there. Che Adams and Armstrong, is that enough? Maybe Southampton will bring in like 1 more big signing. And that's when I'll do my final prediction, where we'll see where all teams are at. However, as of right now, with how I'm seeing teams go on a projection basis, on a graph, where they're going, this is how I see them. Brighton will be, actually, where can they be? 17th, 16th, 15th, 14th? Christ. Well, okay, I've got them going 11th then, aren't I? 11th. Yeah, sounds about right. 11th, Brighton. Yeah. I mean, does anyone have any question marks for that? Probably not. They're a cute team. They have some cute little players. On their day, they could be decent. Basuma's gone. Could be a miss for them. They may be a bit lower, but they've got a good manager. who I think that he can turn okay players into good players. So I think that's okay. Yeah, that's right. I like the job that Potter's doing there. So, and Brighton's a cute little club. So let's go for 11 for them. So okay, so now left with Chelsea, Liverpool, City, Newcastle. Oh God. Okay, well let's just do Newcastle. Newcastle 7th. I don't think they'll be ahead of United, but I'm on a Newcastle hype train. Reason why is that they ended last year for the entire second half of last year. They were immense. The third most informed team pretty much the entire time for the end of last year. We're not speaking of like 5 games of form. We're speaking of 19, bro. 19 games of form where they were the third best team in the league, essentially. Now, there could be a bit of, hype and momentum that can go their way, but who's to say that can't keep still building now? If they do that for the entire year, they'll be in top 4. I doubt that will happen, though. I think it'll be a drop-off point. But I still think that potentially they can still bring in 2-3 more players by the end of the window, which I think that will happen. Maybe 2 big ones, maybe. A proper striker. And maybe another, I don't know exactly where they need the most. I mean, they've got Botman in. They've also got, they've got Porpin, who I think is a fantastic goalkeeper as well. So I'll probably get in the midfielder and also a striker. I think they'd be pretty good as well. I'm on the hype train. Not because of just the fact I've got money, but because I've seen with my own eyes how good they have been. And in terms of form, defensively, immense. So if they bring in some goals, if Callum Wilson is fit for a longer chunk of the year, who's to say they can't be in that conversation? I mean, if West Ham can, then so can Newcastle. If Leicester can, then so can Newcastle. That's kind of how and for all I know, for all I know, Newcastle, they can be 6th, and United could be 7th, or Arsenal. Newcastle could be 5th. I would be surprised. Actually, I won't be surprised if they don't do that, but I think as of right now, it would be a bit sensible. But maybe my opinion may change by September. And then there is the, Chelsea. I think Chelsea 4th. I like Sterling. I think that's a smart piece of business for Chelsea. Defensively, they still need to get 1 or 2 players in. I know they're linked with a lot of players defensively. I know Koulibaly is coming in, I've heard. So Koulibaly with Thiago Silva at the back. Mendy, great goalkeeper. Chilwell can actually be there for most of the year, which is a big piece of, that's like a signing in itself, it feels like. So Chelsea, I think, will be fine. 4th place. I think Spurs, with that Conte kind of effect, maybe 3rd. Because I just like Conte a lot, as you can obviously tell. And then, of course, there's Liverpool City. This is the thing, man. It's like, I would like to say I would like Liverpool to win the league. I would, because I feel like I cheer on the underdog in pretty much every scenario. In more scenarios, I kind of back, the underdog to win the league. But if we're going to think about it in terms of a predictor level, in terms of the odds of probabilities, right now it's probably like, 75% likely that City will win the league. Mane going from Liverpool could be a big miss. And it could be a world where Liverpool may have a bit of a shake, because it's possible. They have done it before. An injury to Van Dijk could be possible. He still had an ACL injury last year, so it's possible that he can get injured again. That's all it could change to change up the system. But yeah, I just think if we're going to just play the probability game, City should win the league. That's it. Tell me your thoughts down below in the comments. Am I wrong? Am I right? Probably not. But that's the entire point of this, okay? This is just where I stand right now, where I think some teams will be, and maybe you think differently. But, I'll do my final predictor at the end, start of September, when we have all the signings done. I always do a early prediction video around July anyway, and typically, my prediction now, early, is usually better than my prediction at the end of September. And when I do my final one. So this could actually be more accurate than my final one. So we'll find out. So tell me your thoughts on where I think some teams would be. And I'll see you guys next time for another video. And stay safe.